Hajj is a spiritual pilgrimage embarked upon by Muslims every year, being one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The number 1 Hajj and Umrah service provider, MARQUIS CONCIERGE in Abuja, has carried out its Hajj induction seminar with the theme Education and Orientation on Hajj Rights and Expectations. This is the first in its series of its annual lecture in guiding Muslims for Umrah and Hajj pilgrimage. Addressing Muslim faithful preparing for Umrah and Hajj in Abuja, this Hajj lecturer, Mohammed Kabir, highlighted the practice when Muslims are to embark on Umrah and Hajj in Saudi Arabia.
Now I have reached Marwa. My Umrah is now completed, inshallah. It remains for me to shave my head or to reduce as a woman, maybe either here or when I go back in my hotel. Is it clear? So now I'll go back, we will now go back to our hotel rooms, remove these white garments, and then fold it. If it is dirty, you wash it until the next day of Zulhijjah. Is it clear? So I'm just giving, now let's say we have finished, we have gone back to, remember we said the women in the menses period will take the intention. When they come to Mecca, they will not perform tawaf and sa'i until when the period is over. During our stay, before going out for Hajj, if the period stops, then she can come and perform her tawaf and sa'i. In the same. So now we have finished the Umrah. We remove the Ihram. On the X day of the Hijjah, that is X day, Yawm Tarwiyah, we are going to resume our Ihram once again for Hajj. Take our ritual bath, we the men will resume these white garments and say Labbaik Allahumma Hajjan. This is for Hajj now, the other one for Umrah, and this is for Hajj. And from there we'll start chanting the Talbiyah, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka Labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. So now the bosses are conveying us to where? Mina. Not Mina of Niger State. That one is Muna, but we say Mina because we have Mina. The other one is Muna. So we are going to Muna of Saudi Arabia, not Mina of Niger State. So we will be conveyed by the buses provided by the company. So it will now take us to where Mina is. A bigger one. It's not that you are going to stone the Satan, thinking that let me use a bigger stone so that I can remove his sticks. So let's say this is what I picked from that side. It's just like a sample of what you are supposed to do. It's not a big act. They are very small. So it's an act of ibadah. Maybe you can pick the more special of the 11s and you can pick more than the number. So that when you go, now as we are living, what do you call it? Muzdalifah. Towards where the Jamarat is. The Jamarat is following through, I will pass by our tent in Mina, then we go through Jamarat. Jamarat are 3 in number. So the Jamarat are 3 in number. Yeah, so we are using one as a demonstration, but there are 3 in line. Just like each one is the same size. It has been expanded. So now you pass by the small Jamra here. You will not be allowed by the police to stone that Jamra. You come, you also pass by the little Jamra. On that day, you are only stoning the big Jamra. This is the big Jamra, for example. Remember to bring out maybe 7 stones, or if you have them only 7 stones, look at the size. They are now 7.
Kabir, briefing these faithful, explains the role they all have to play during their holy trip, as it will be more spiritually beneficial to them. He added that Hajj brings together and unites the Muslims from different parts of the world irrespective of their race, color, and culture, which acts as a symbol of equality.
Let me congratulate you for being chosen by Allah to be among those that are going to perform Hajj this year. The importance of Hajj cannot be overemphasized. It's something that is known to every Muslim. Number one, as a pillar of Islam, you don't need to be told that Hajj is a pillar of Islam. And it's compulsory. Allah has made it compulsory upon all the mankind that have the means of going there to visit his house. Allah said to Adam, that the first person that performed Hajj, he said, Adam, don't you know that I have a house? You have never visited me. He said, well, I never knew. And then we are very close to the house. They were then near Arafat. So he was led by Angel Jibril to go and see the Kaaba, and they circumambulate the Kaaba. The Kaaba was built by the angels according to scholars, and they were the one that started circumambulating the Kaaba, then followed by Adam, then followed by the children of Adam, to me and you today. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it. So Hajj is compulsory, and it's one of the means of getting your sins forgiven by Allah.
The Hajjis or pilgrims, according to him, wear simple white clothes called ihram. During the Hajj, the pilgrims perform acts of worship and they renew the sense of purpose in the world.
It goes like this. Now you are heading, the plane is tipping. So now you are heading towards Safa. As you are heading towards Safa, you can read, you are now going to read the verse 158 of Surah Al-Baqarah. إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم. I forgot to mention that after the tawaf you are going to cover your shoulders like this. You can't continue with an exposed shoulder. After the tawaf, the exposure of the shoulder is finished. So now, this is, for example, Safa. You can see how steep it is. So now you face the Qibla. From here, Safa, though there are buildings, but you can see still the Kaaba. So you face the Kaaba, say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. لا إله إلا الله وحده أنجز وعده ونصر عبده وحزم الأحزاب وحده. This is the prayer recited by the messenger. If you can recite from the pamphlets or from any other written document. Or if you don't know how to recite it, there is nothing wrong. Just raise your hand and ask Allah's blessings on whatever your needs are. Then after your prayer, there is demarcation. Those people going this side, they are following the right. Those coming back from Marwa, they are following the other side. There are two green lights that crosses your head. So there are two, one here, the other one after some meters. Now from this one to the next one, the men are going to jump until when they reach the second green light. You don't put this kind of dress we are wearing now. So like I said earlier, that all the sunnahs of ihram could be done in the hotel room. You reduce or shave your whatever you want. But remember not to shave your head because it is there for Umrah. And then after taking your ritual bath, this is what the men are asked to wear as they are dressed for ihram. This one, there are two. One, you are going to tie it on your waist. When you are tightening this thing, remember to open your legs. Otherwise, if you do tie it as the legs are attached together, it won't allow you, you'll not walk comfortably. So you open your legs like this. Then the ihram is of different sizes. Small size, medium size, big size, even jumbo size. So you make sure you buy the size that fits you. If you can see me now, this is my size. It can go around behind me like this. You can see it. So you tie it from the back. If it is not enough, you can use a handkerchief and attach it so that it will be enough to be tied well. Make sure it's tied well. Otherwise, you are going to give a television. So please remember that this is an ibadah. It's not your own choice. It is Allah's choice that you must be in these things. Otherwise, or even myself, I will not wear this. So you see, I now tied it from the back. You can also use a belt on top of it, allowed. So you can say that because I often like it, I can walk comfortably. So this is for the first one. The second one is going to be on top of your shoulder. Cover your shoulders like this. Harami, one harami. Harami, sunan's harami. This is the name they give to a harami. But the haram, ihram is the niyyah, is the most important. So this one, you put it on your shoulders like this. Cover, make sure you cover your body. You as a man. The women I said is the same kind of dress they are wearing now, regardless of the color. But we are asked to wear the white. Now, the exposing, your shoulder is only during tawaf. You will see these white-skinned people, they will be exposing their shoulders right from the miqat. It's a mistake. The reason for exposing the shoulders is the right shoulder is for the Prophet and the companions to show the influence of Mecca that they are still strong. Why? Because they were chased from Mecca by the influence of Mecca as being maybe they are poor, they are weak, and now they went to Medina. The Battle of Badr, Uhud took place, Khandak took place. Now they came for Hajj, for the Umrah. Now, when they are going to perform the tawaf, the messenger said, since they are watching us, bring out your shoulders so that you can show them your strength, that we are still strong if you want us to fight again. And that's the reason for jogging. Show them you are still healthy enough to fight them. So this is the sunnah. Remember I said no cap, no trouser, all this kind of dress is not allowed. You have to remain the way it is. No boxers, no underwear. And that is why you have to start learning how to sit down. Yeah, let me be frank with you. You see people in Mina, though men are different on different times, but the way some other people are sitting down actually it gives something, a negative effect. So make sure that you learn how to sit down. Don't think that you are still. And you also, like I said, you learn from your wife how to tie this wrapper. Now this is the gate of the Kaaba, officially. Then between the gate and the Hajarul Aswad is what is called Al-Multazam. You get me right? If you don't know where the Hajarul Aswad is, look at where the police officer is standing. He's standing there in order to control the crowd. Not to control, so to say, at least to reduce the menace. So now, look at there. Where you cannot see him, wherever you see the crowd is much, that's where the Hajarul Aswad is. Then the third sign is the same, symbol is the green light that you will see opposite, directly looking at this. So this is the starting point. I said you have three options. Option number one, let's say this is Hajarul Aswad. It's covered with in a silver color something. Is it clear? So now it's for you to kiss the Hajarul Aswad with your mouth without making any sound like I said. Saying Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Where that is not possible and will not be possible now, then the next option is for you to touch Hajarul Aswad with your right hand. Kiss your hand since it has touched the Hajarul Aswad. Say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. But remember, no sound. Babu. So the last option, because this one may also not be possible. Now the last option, which is the easiest one, because when the messenger was demonstrating, Umar was doing like this. The messenger said, Ya Umar, innaka qawiyyun la tu'udhin nas. I know you are strong. Don't harm others. It's not Islamic for you to say, I must touch the Hajar Aswad. I will push this, push that. Someone will become, today I have done this, I have done this, I have touched Hajar Aswad. Remember, touching Hajar Aswad is sunnah, but harming others is haram, more especially in the Kaaba. Try not to harm anyone. So be in calm position. Just like this, away from the Kaaba, you point at it with either your finger or your hand like this. Just like saying you are touching it. Say, Bismillahi, Allahu Akbar. But remember, no kissing, because it hasn't touched the Hajar al-Aswad. And remember, we said the men, while starting the dawah, they will do what is called al-ittiba, exposing their shoulders, like this. This is what is called al-ittiba. And I told you the reason, to show the impetus of Makkah that we still have the strength to fight them. Then also the first 3 cycles, the men are to jog to the best they could. So now, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Allahumma imanan bik, wa tasdiqan bi kitabik, wa wafa'an bi ahadik, wa ittiba'an li sunnati nabiyyika sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the dua for starting tawaf. Why you don't know how to make this dua, there is nothing wrong. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, you start doing it. Is it clear? Then you start tawaf. During your tawaf, you are allowed to be reciting Quran, be praying, be remembering Allah, Salatul Nabi, and what? Oh Allah, have mercy on me. Oh Allah, I request for Jannah. Oh Allah, have mercy on my parents. Oh Allah, this and that. All your request. I said between, this is Maqam Ibrahim. The stone where the Ibrahim stood while he was building Kaaba was left as a symbol of miracles there. It was attached to Kaaba, but when a revelation was sent to the messenger, وَاتَّخِذُ مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى, you should be praying the 2 rakats of Nafila behind Maqam Ibrahim. The messenger started praying. But praying behind Maqam Ibrahim at this manner, you are going to inconvenience those that are making tawaf. So it has to be pushed back from the Kaaba. And that what takes it to here. As they were pushing it back, the crowd or the population of Muslim Ummah is increasing. They said if we are to take away the Kaaba away from the people, then we have to remove it from the whole Masjid al-Haram. So we have to leave it there as the Dorura. So now, you either follow between Maqam Ibrahim and Kaaba or behind, it's only the same. There is no difference. So you will be jogging as a man, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-huda, or reciting quotation for it. But the best preparation is that when the Imams of Makkah wanted to renew or rebuild the Kaaba, they had no money from halal to be enough to build the Kaaba. They decided to build the area they could with that money of halal. Then the remaining part, they just make it, a semicircle. So this one is part of the Kaaba. So you don't enter between here. Though now the door has been provided, they lock it, they even allow you to go in. So you have to go behind Hijr Ismail. Is part of the Kaaba.
He states the importance of Hajj as indisputable. After all, it is one of the pillars of Islam. But of all 5 of them, it is the hardest to achieve and therefore becomes obligatory to a smaller group of Muslims than the other obligations. The Hajj lecturer says not only is Hajj an emotional and spiritual journey, it is also a physically exhausting endeavor. The pilgrim will have to experience extreme heat and bodily strain, which means it is not suitable for the weak and disabled. He added that Hajj also requires air travel for most and a whole host of other expenses that come with international travel, which most people cannot afford. These and a number of other factors are what prevents many Muslims from completing Hajj, and Allah will not hold it against them, as He is the one who has given them their health and wealth.
Bimal al-Haram, whosoever performs Hajj with an unlawful source of his provision, if he says Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, oh Allah, I answer your call to perform Hajj, Allah said, tell him, my angels, that La Labbaik wa la Sa'dik. You are not welcome here. And wa la Sa'dik will never be successful. Why? The messenger mentioned the reason. وَذَلُكَ مِنْ haram, because your provision is from haram. So we should be making preparation for a lawful source of what? Of our provision. And second on also is to provide provision for your family. Please don't leave the country without making preparation, provision for the family, what will be enough for them for you to go and come back. These are some of the preparations. Of course, there is another one that is medical preparations. If you know that you have any ailments that will make will make your Hajj uncomfortable, please try to seek for medical advice. And if you are taking it, I know this one I will leave it to the doctors, they are going to tell you this. So these are some of the preparations that I think they are very important to be reminded, for us to be reminded about. Then also some of the preparations, you seek forgiveness from your colleagues, your wife, your family, your relatives, because it's a journey of lifetime and it's something that you don't know. You don't have the certainty of coming back. You don't. I always say it. I can now see the picture of someone in 2011. We are coming back from Medina, and he was calling his wife very close to Jeddah, about I think 20 to 15 kilometers away from Jeddah airport. He was calling his wife that he's going to come back today, and you should be ready. You should be ready to welcome me. Make sure you go and do this lalle, prepare this amala, this, that. All that things have been saying until when the bus stopped at the airport, his stomach, started bloating. He was having a stomach problem, and it was only his cough that was brought down. So you can see, waving goodbye and seeking forgiveness is very, very important. Then dua, make a lot of dua. Ask Allah for Hajj Mabrur, because it is only by will of Allah that you can get Hajj Mabrur. It's not by your own making. It is only with the help of Allah that your Hajj could be accepted. Then at the same time also seek for knowledge. We are here for training, but it will not be enough. You have to also be reading all those pamphlets that you are given. You should be going through them. Whatever you don't understand, give us a call so that we can explain it to you, inshallah Rabbul Alameen. Then try to settle any debt that you're owing. Then also repentance is one of them. Now we go straight to the issue of Hajj. And you have learned from the screen here, and you heard it. The Hajj is classified into three. Hajj is classified into three. We have Hajj Ifrad, Hajj Qiran, and Hajj Tamattu. Ifrad means to perform Hajj alone, without Umrah, just Hajj. Then the Qiran is to combine Hajj and Umrah together and unseparated. You don't separate between them. The moment you put that Ihram, you perform Umrah, you continue to be in the state of Ihram until after the Hajj, maybe until 10th of the Hajj, which is the most difficult. And then the last one, which is Hajj Tamattu, which is the most easiest, and scholars are saying is most rewardable. Why? Because they said the Messenger ﷺ did perform Hajj Qiran, but when they came to Miqat, the Messenger asked each one of them that wanted to perform Hajj only should do so. Who wanted to combine Hajj and Umrah could do so. Who wanted to combine Hajj and Umrah but separated could also do so. Some of them did Ifrad, some of them Qiran, like the Messenger himself, then some of them Tamattu. But when they reach Makkah, and those Sahaba, the companions that were performing Hajj Tamattu, after the Umrah, they completed their Umrah, they removed their Ihram, and they returned their traditional attires. The Messenger was happy to see that. He said, oh, if I had known, I would have performed the same Tamattu. And that is why scholars are saying, with the saying of the Messenger that if he had known, he would have performed the Tamattu, that shows that Tamattu is really the most, rewardable, and is the most easiest, so to say. So now, we are going to talk on how to perform Hajj Tamattu. Number one, it is a Hajj that has the Umrah to be performed separately from Hajj. The Umrah has three pillars. Number one is intention, that is declared at the miqat. Number two is the tawaf, circumambulation of the Kaaba. Number three is the sa'i, extending between Safa and Marwa. These three, they are the pillars. If you miss one of them, then your Umrah is not void. Why? The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam divided the world into different angles, corners. You know, the Kaaba is in the middle of the world. Now, since it's the middle of the world, people from the east, south, north, west, they are coming to visit Allah's house. So the messenger station, provided a station stations where each side will make or declare his intention for Hajj or Umrah. Ibn Abbas reported the hadith, said, وَقَتَ النَّبِيُّ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ أَهْلِ الْمَدِينَةِ ذَا الْحُلَيْفَةِ. The messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam made Zul Hulayfa to be the station, the miqat for the people of Medina. While Ahl Sham in Juhfa, those coming from the west, that is to say, we coming from the Nigeria, Egypt, Syria, and the rest, our miqat is Juhfa. Those coming from Yemen, Yalamla, those coming from Najd, Karnal Manazil. So now, if the messenger said, Hunna lahunna, waliman ata alayhinna, liman arada al-hajj or al-umrah. This miqat is for these people, the resident of those areas I mentioned, and whosoever comes through their places, their domain, will take his intention from the miqat. So now when we reach Medina, as we are reading Medina, we have now, our miqat has now changed from our original miqat of Juhfa to that of Medina. Why? We are now Medinites. We have become the people of Medina. So if we are living Medina, the miqat of Medina is now our miqat. That's where we are going to declare our intention. I hope it's clear. So going to Medina, also we should know that going to Medina is not part of Hajj. It's entirely a different ibadah. Visiting the messenger's masjid and other historical sites in Medina. But it has no any business with Hajj, except for the miqat. So if you go to Medina after finishing our ziyarat, which will be discussed maybe later, or when we go to Medina, the places we are going to visit, the visitation sites. Now, as we are leaving Medina, that's the day our Hajj will commence. Because we are starting with the Umrah, the day we are leaving Medina, then we will come to Makkah after Umrah, we wait for the days of Hajj. So the day we are leaving Medina, we are going to have our intention from the miqat. And there are a lot of sunnah, sunnahs of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam for that intention. Number one is for you to take a ritual bath. Just the normal, the way you take baths for janaba, for haida, and what have you. That's one. You can also, barb, or you can shave if you want. You can also reduce your fingernails, maybe if they are going to be cause a problem for you or others. Then it's advisable we take our ritual baths from our hotel rooms, because it saves time and it's more convenient there than coming to miqat where you are taking your bath, someone is knocking by the door. So it's better you take your ritual bath from the room of your hotel. And also, if the need arises, you put on your ihram there. It's better to save time. Sometimes you come to miqat, before you know you spend an hour there, while people, some of them will be lost. But if we already took our ritual bath, it's only for us to come and pray at the miqat and start going, maybe perform ablution, which is more easier. Inshallah, we will remind ourselves in Medina. So after all this, remember you can apply perfume before taking your ihram. So the ihram for the men is 2 white garments. The one that you're going to tie on your waist, and the other one that will cover your shoulder. This is the ihram for men. Then for women, it could be any color of their dress. All of them here could serve, their colors could serve as ihram for them. So far it covers their body. There is no need to say until when they wear this or that. They can wear any color, but preferably white or black. So now when we come to miqat, those that took their ritual baths from the hotel room, alhamdulillah, they have done it. Those that have not done so could do that at miqat. After doing that, you enter into the masjid of the miqat, Zul Hulayfa, perform 2 rakats, 2 units of prayer. The first rakah, Fatiha and Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, Fatiha and Qul Huwallahu Ahad for the second rakah. If you don't recite this, it doesn't mean that your prayer is not accepted. You can recite any verse, but more preferably, you will recite these two surahs. Then after terminating the prayer, yes, of course you can say your intention from there, but remember when you say the intention, there are restrictions. So sunnatically, it's better for you to allow yourself in the bus until when you alert the bus and the bus starts moving, then you declare your intention. That's what the messenger did. Ja'far bin Abdullahi, the Islamic journalist who did not perform Hajj with the messenger, he served as a journalist. He doesn't want anything to miss him. So he refused to perform Hajj deliberately in order to narrate the story of what happenings for us. So he said, Hatta stawa ala dhahri dabati istahalla bit-tawhid. That until when the messenger sat on his she-camel, then he said the intention. And the intention now has to be said loudly, verbally, not the intention that you make in the heart. It's only in Hajj and Umrah that you're allowed to say the intention verbally. All other intentions, you are not allowed to say it verbally. But the intention of Hajj or Umrah are to be said clearly. Labbaik Allahumma Umratan. Oh Allah, I answer your call to perform Umrah. This is the intention. Remember, it has been said, you heard it. So, Labbaik Allahumma Umratan, meaning, oh Allah, I answer your call to perform Umrah. From that moment, you have entered into Umrah, the first pillar has been done. So now, after declaring your intention by saying Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, then come the Talbiyah. The Talbiyah is the slogan for Hajj and Umrah, and that is Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. You can say it in a rising form, but you can say it anyhow. All you need to do is to chant the Talbiyah. You can be saying the way the others are saying it. It's just for it to make it easy for people. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. This is Talbiyah. And this is a slogan for Hajj. So a pilgrim is expected to be chanting this Talbiyah till he reach Makkah. This is because the messenger said, Afdalul Hajj al-Hajj was the best Hajj is the Hajj where sacrifice is provided and Talbiyah has been said separately. This is the best Hajj. So try to be chanting Talbiyah. If you're tired of saying the Talbiyah, then you make other dhikr, adhkar, remembrance of Allah. If you are tired, you say the Salat al-Nabi. If you are tired, you sleep. When you wake up, you can continue with either recitation of the Quran or Talbiyah till you reach Makkah. On our way to Makkah from Medina, we'll stop to pray or eat food. Whenever we finish, we continue the Talbiyah, recitation of the Quran. Even if you are going to talk with your friend, it's allowed, but you are going to talk responsibly. You should be decent in what you are going to say. No backbiting, no gossiping. Please know that you are in the act of Ibadah of Umrah. So until we reach Makkah, when we reach Makkah, my kids are taking us to our hotel rooms. And of course, even in Jannah, we have different levels. So don't expect going to Zamzam. If you don't pay Zamzam, you don't go to think of going to Zamzam. Whosoever wants to be in Zamzam should be Zamzam now. Let him Zamzam himself, please. So I'm a different level. Don't think that, why am I not taken together with this man? We have different classes. So we should be taken to different hotels that we paid for. But at least the list is the 3-star hotel. So we should bear this in mind. Then when we reach our hotels, we keep our luggages. The next is the second pillar, isn't it? That is what? Tawaf. The second pillar is of Umrah. Now the second pillar also requires ablution. Because the messenger said, At-tawafu kas-salati illa annahu uhilla fihi al-kalam. That tawaf is like prayer, except that you're allowed to talk during tawaf. The messenger said, فَمَنْ تَكَلَّمَ فَلْيَتَكَلَّمْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Whosoever is going to talk should be responsible in his weddings. So we should perform ablution because it's like a salah. It should be in the state of ablution. So if your ablution is broken, make sure you perform the ablution before going to Haram. Then we will directly be heading to Haram. When we reach Haram, the best we should have, I know
it's difficult for only Nigerians. I don't know what is happening to us. You will go with 50 or 100 people, but before you know, you end up tawaf with only 3 or 4 or 5. It's only Nigerians. Other countries, they will start together and finish together. But that Nigerianism, and I know everything that is in our blood, it takes us away. So please, if we want to be together, we should be together. But in case we go, since we are not going to finish together, the best you can do is, more especially if you're a first timer, try to know the number of the gate that you're entering. So that even if you are lost after the tawaf, you can locate where that gate is. Wait for your brothers, you will see them, inshallah. So after entering the Kaaba with the prayer, Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ghafir li dhunubi wa ftah li abwaab rahmatik, wa Bismillah Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallim. Enter the Masjid al-Haram with your right leg. And there is no nafila before the tawaf. The nafila that is being said here in our masajid called Tahiyatul Masjid, honoring the masjid, is not to be said in the Masjid al-Haram until after the tawaf. Why? The messenger said, فَلْيَكُمْ أَوَّلُ أَحَدِ أَحَدِكُمْ بِالْبَيْتِ الطَّوَافِ وَلْيَكُمْ آخِرُ أَحَدِكُمْ بِالْبَيْتِ الطَّوَافِ. The first act of ibadah of one of you in the Masjid al-Haram should be tawaf, and should be the last. And that is why we have tawaf al-qudum, tawaf al-umrah, and the tawaf al-wada. So it should be the last. The first act of worship is tawaf. So when we enter into Kaaba, we are going to demonstrate it to you practically. We are heading towards the corner of Hajar al-Aswad. When you go to the corner of Hajar al-Aswad, you have 3 options. Hajar al-Aswad is the stone brought down to Ibrahim by Angel Jibril. Angel Jibril brought him from Jannah. So it's one of the items of Jannah in the world, the Hajar al-Aswad. The messenger said it was brought by Angel Jibril, وَهِيَ أَفْيَدُ مِنَ الثَّلْجِ وَلَكِنْ سَوَّدَهُ ذُنُوبُ النَّاسِ. This stone was brought by Angel Jibril, is more whiter than the ice, but it is the sins committed by the people that turn it black. So let's add black and dark color to it. Why the messenger said when you kiss the Hajar al-Aswad, or you touch the Hajar al-Aswad, or you point at it, you leave all that you have done there. So let's add more. So now, the corner of the Hajar al-Aswad, even if you don't know it, you could see it from the distance that someone, a policeman, is standing near the gate of the Kaaba. That's where the corner of Hajar al-Aswad is. And you see the crowd of people there. Then, if that is not enough, there's a green light giving you the sign that this is where the Hajar al-Aswad starts. The Nawab will commence. So go there. The messenger gave us 3 options. Option number 1 is to kiss Hajar al-Aswad like this, without making any sound. Then to move, it's not allowed. It's not sunnah. Actually, it happens. You see people, that's why Hausa call Ishanon. They think Ishanon like Jahili. No, you just put your mouth on the Hajar al-Aswad, say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. That is it. Where that is not possible, and it will not be possible now because of the crowd. If you want to do it, you get another time. Go and spend an hour there to do it. Then the second option is for you to use your hand, touch the Hajar al-Aswad, of course right hand side. Touch the Hajar al-Aswad, then you kiss the hand without making any sound. Without making any sound. Just touch the Hajar al-Aswad and kiss your hand. You are kissing the hand because it touches the Hajar al-Aswad. Where that is not possible, and may not be possible also because of the crowd, then the last option is pointing at Hajar al-Aswad. You can point at anything, whatever distance it is. So you just stay far away from it. Just point either with your finger or with your hand, just like touching it. Say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. In this case, there is no need for kissing hand. Why? Because it doesn't touch the Hajar al-Aswad. I know you'll be seeing those white skin. Even some of them, they will do it 7 times. Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. And our black people for following them, they are ignorant of the deen. So please, let's stay where the Sunnah stays. That's what the Sunnah states. Just point at it, say Bismillah, Allah. That's the commencement of your tawaf. As you are circumambulating the Kaaba, you go round anti-clockwise by putting the Kaaba by your left side, left-hand side. So as you are going around the Kaaba, you are going to pass by the door of the Kaaba, which you will be seeing it there, inshallah. Okay, this is the door of the Kaaba. The picture is here. And we have demonstrated something like this at the practical items there. So you will pass by the door of the Kaaba, and opposite the door of the Kaaba there is Maqam Ibrahim, the stand of Ibrahim. That's what the stone where Ibrahim stood when he was building the Kaaba. I mean, when the height of the Kaaba reached a level that his hand could not reach, so Ibrahim brought a stone where he will now climb on the stone, and Ismail will give him the building bricks. Because of the miracles of the prophets, Prophet Ibrahim footprints were there on this stone. And that is why it is Maqam Ibrahim. That's why Allah said, "Fihi ayatun bayinat." In that house there are clear signs of the miracles of Allah, miracles of the Prophet. Maqam Ibrahim is one of them. So that Maqam Ibrahim is between the Kaaba, it's in front of the gate of the Kaaba, the side of the gate of the Kaaba. There is no need for you to say, until I have to follow in between. Whether in between the Maqam Ibrahim and Kaaba or behind Maqam, they are all the same. All that is needed from you is to go around the Kaaba, whether far away from the Kaaba or closer to the diameter. So you go, you fast that, you go to the Hijri Ismail, the semicircle you are seeing there is part of the Kaaba, which we will mention it inshallah later on, the reason why they made it semicircle. Then you go around. When you come to the corner, let me use this chair please, sorry. Okay, this is Hajar al-Aswad. Yes, I'm giving an example. Okay, let's say this is Hajar al-Aswad. You are starting your tawaf. This is the door of the Kaaba is here. Maqam Ibrahim by this side. You pass, you have the semicircle, you go around. You come to this corner. This one is called Rukn al-Shimali. This is Rukn al-Iraqi. This one called Rukn al-Shimali, Shami, because it is pointing at Sham, this present Syria. And this is Rukn al-Iraqi because it is pointing to Iraq. And this is Rukn al-Yamani because it is pointing to Yemen. But the most important is, why was this it's more popular? Is because the messenger kissed it. And that was why it is more popular. The other ones were not known by the people. But are names given to it. Why? Because they are pointing at certain, direction. So now this one is pointing at Yemen, Rukn al-Yamani. When you come here, Rukn al-Yamani, if you have the chance to touch the Rukn al-Yamani and say Allahu Akbar, it's okay. If you don't have, it's not compulsory. And of course, remember, I forgot to mention, for the men, when you are starting the tawaf, make sure you remove your shoulder as a sunnah of the tawaf. And the first 3 rounds, you have to be jogging. So now, when you reach here, between this angle, this corner of Rukn al-Yamani, to the starting point of Hajar al-Aswad, you are expected to do the dua, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Oh Allah, give us the good of this world and the good of the hereafter. This is all-encompassing prayer given to us by Allah Himself and by the Messenger. You got what I'm saying? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So between here and here, make sure you read this Rabbana. Other side, you can explain. Sometimes we want to also elaborate and explain to Allah. Oh Allah, good house, good work, and good. But you have already said it here. That's why the Messenger gave us the prayer. But if it's not enough for you, you have the right to explain. Oh Allah, you know the kind of thing that I want, and that is the one. So when you reach here, is the first cycle completed. Now you point at it once again as you did at the beginning. Allahu Akbar. Say Bismillah only once. When you come, you are just going to say Allahu Akbar. You continue with the tawaf. Men jogging if they have the chance, because if the crowd is too much, you cannot even jog. But at least show the sign. So now you go around. When you come back, Rabbana Atina from here. The second round is completed. Point at it, say Allahu Akbar. You go for the third round. The same thing in the same manner. Come for the fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, up to the seventh round. The seventh cycle is the completion of our tawaf. I hope I'm making myself clear. So now, after completing the tawaf, remember it is said that tawaf is like a prayer. So please, you have to mind what you're going to eat. If your ablution is broken, in the middle of the sixth round, you have to go and perform ablution and start from the beginning. It's the same as prayer. So we should mind what we are taking. We should be mindful of whatever we are going to take. Is it clear? So after, but God so kind, if you are able to complete the tawaf with your ablution, but before to go and perform the 2 rakat behind Maqam Ibrahim, your ablution gets broken, you can go and perform the ablution. That's the new one of the tawaf. But before the completion of the tawaf, you are starting from the beginning. So now, if you are heading towards Maqam Ibrahim, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى is the verse to be read if you know how to read it. If you don't know, there is no need. You just go behind Maqam Ibrahim. When we say behind, it doesn't mean that you must come closer to Maqam Ibrahim. Because sometimes you see people, if this is Maqam Ibrahim, they will say, I must pray very closely. So they inconvenience people, many people, because people are circumventing the Kaaba. Remember, Maqam Ibrahim was attached to Kaaba then. But because Allah said we should be praying behind Maqam Ibrahim, and it is causing disruption and obstruction during Tawaf, so it was meant to be driving away from Kaaba, moving it from Kaaba slowly, slowly, up to the time it reaches that level. And the scholar said, okay, if you are going to say because of Tawaf, you move the Maqam Ibrahim, then you are taking outside. So it has to be left there. But more importantly, get a place behind Maqam Ibrahim, even if it is far away. Not even behind any place, anywhere in the Masjid al-Haram, you can pray the surah. So don't mind yourself and say, I must pray behind Maqam Ibrahim. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. Pray 2 rakats behind Maqam Ibrahim with Fatiha and Qul Ya Ayyuhal Kafirun, the first rakah. Second rakah, Fatiha and Qul Huwallahu. You may be surprised that why is the messenger asking us to do this? Or why was he doing this? Because these are 2 surahs of Tawheed. The other one, you are now denouncing the kuffars. You are renouncing kufr. Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun la a'budu ma ta'budun. This one you are saying Allah is the one to be worshipped. Qul huwallahu ahad. So this tawheed is with these 2 surahs. So that is why the messenger used to recite them, even in Rak'atan al-Fajr. So now after completing the tawaf, praying behind Maqam Ibrahim, what's next? Drinking Ma'u Zamzam. It's not compulsory. But for you, at least, to drink Zamzam for the next level of the next pillar, at least you get yourself refreshed. So, and drinking Zamzam is of barakah. The messenger said, Ma'u Zamzama lima shuribala. The water, Zamzam water, could be taken for anything that you have in mind. Anything. Whether you want wealth, money, knowledge, or whatever. I saw someone with my naked eyes taking water and telling Allah that he needs $1 million. Because it said, so after drinking the next one is, that's what the messenger did, and he mentioned that such supplication is also accepted. Then you go to the second jamra, you stone it to 7 pebbles saying Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When you finish, you shift away from the jamra, you face the Qibla and supplicate. Then you go to the last jamra. If you stone the last jamra, say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, then that is the end of the activity of that day. You don't supplicate after the last jamra. Then you come back to where? Mina. Continue praying, Azkar and what have you. The next day, that is Thursday, you also pick another 21 pebbles. You come, you did the same stoning like you did yesterday, starting with the smaller one. After you finish stoning, you supplicate. You come to the middle one, stone it and supplicate. You go to the last one and stone it. If you want to, you can pass down to Mina. Your activities of Hajj is completed. فَمَنْ تَأَجَّلَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ.
Some Muslims set to embark on the Hajj express their delight and happiness to be privileged to go for Hajj, as one of the most important reasons to perform Hajj is to seek forgiveness from Allah And the best part is that the sins of a believer whose Hajj have been accepted is wiped clean entirely. They added that as Muslims, there is one goal that they will all strive towards for the entirety of their lifetimes, with the belief that this world is not a resting place but just a passing phase, and they must do whatever they can to guarantee the place in the highest of heavens, and that's the ultimate reward for Hajj.
The lecture was really educative. At least we were able to learn a lot, most especially things that could spoil your Hajj. So that was a very good one for everybody, because most of us, everybody was just bothered about going to perform the rites, but people were not bothered about the things that could spoil the Hajj. Everybody should be patient, and we should all try to look out for one another and have faith. So far, I expect the best, but as I say, whatever Allah wills, may it be done. But we expect, and so far from the lecture, we want to believe that what we will get over at Saudi will be better. From the way the lecture was organized, it was very nice. So we believe that the arrangements there too will be at least almost perfect. Yes, my any recommendation, I think the program should be extended at least 2 days, because it was like a crash program, so everybody was just trying to quickly grab one or two things. But if it was like 2 days, at least when you learn today, the next day you have like a refresher.
Equip yourself with the right knowledge, right information. With that, you can be assured that you can at least go through the process of achieving an acceptable Hajj, inshallah. And I keep mentioning the information you need to equip yourself is not just about the Hajj rites only, but you should be oriented about the expectations. Expectation, which has been mentioned at the seminar, from everything as little as the custom regulation to immigration laws to the health part of it. With the right information, at least you're assured that you will not go through the process of being impatient, getting angry, or doing the wrong thing, which it has been established that being on the right path, doing the right thing, and maintaining your taqwa and your patience actually helps you in achieving an acceptable Hajj, inshallah. Particularly MARQUIS has been doing Hajj operations since 2016, but our sister company has been in the industry for a long time, and one of what gave birth to MARQUIS Concierge Hajj package services actually was correcting all the wrongs that have been going on initially from in the industry, and even in our sister company that has been having some challenges initially. So we use the concierge background and the access to service provider to enhance the services of Hajj and Umrah. And one of the key things is exposing our services to as much people as possible, and then giving them the right education orientation regarding the Hajj rights also. We are very big on that. We are very keen on equipping our pilgrims, because if you are well equipped and you're able to achieve your Hajj rights successfully, at least you will stop this repeat Hajj, which you see somebody say, this is my first Hajj. So he feels his first Hajj is just a trial period. But sometimes that's the only opportunity you ever get to do your farilla. And then we make sure that, okay, even if you have opportunities of repeating Hajj, for every single Hajj you do, you can make it better. This is just a little, it's just a tip. Because the actual thing is actually making them observe their Hajj rites successfully without going through the different scenarios of getting impatient, getting angry, issues. There are a lot of things that can come up, and be able to maintain their state of mind in a state of taqwa and patience. That's the major thing we are focused on right now. And I know one of the major part of it is making sure that we do all the right logistics well, achieve the logistics, and then the other things that the services we will be needing from the Saudi government, we make sure that to the best of our ability, they deliver on their own part so that our pilgrims can be happy, inshallah.
The purpose of Umrah is known to be the minor Hajj and is a sunnah that a Muslim can perform any time of the year except for the 5 days of Hajj. One who steps out with the pure intent in the path for Umrah is considered to be a pilgrim until he reaches his home back. It is believed that at the end of it, the Muslim faithful would have moved closer to Allah and have had all their sins forgiven, as this is an experience that is sure to change the Muslim for the better, owing to the fact that Hajj teaches patience, discipline, and strengthens the bond between a Muslim and his fellow Muslims together.
While he was building Kaaba, was left as a symbol of miracles there. It was attached to Kaaba, but when a revelation was sent to the messenger, وَاتَّخِذُ مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى, you should be praying the 2 rakats of Nafila behind Maqam Ibrahim. The messenger started praying.